Hello again, welcome back to Asgard, and welcome back to Divine Journey. So if you did not tune in for the last speed build, we were working on this structure. And as you can tell, I did go ahead and trim that back a bit. I haven't shaped up the land and all that yet, but I did trim that back, and I finished this upper platform and made it all kind of match all the way around. Also, I did some lily pads. I added some vines up here. I haven't went all the way around just yet because I haven't decided exactly how many I want, and the density and stuff like that on that outer ring. So, but anyways, I think it makes for kind of a scenic little entrance as you're coming into this area. Of course, the vines are still kind of in the process of growing and going down to the ground and everything. You can see I added some more just random lily pads around and whatnot. And our altar power is currently at 12,780 with the ×5 modifier, which we'll be boosting that a little bit today. I think our primary objectives for today, if we take a look at the quest book, is working on we're going to get some tombstones, get our candelabra, get our chalice. We won't be able to fill it just yet, because to make the filled chalice, we do need that redstone soup, which, well, Mutanus Extremis, yeah, Refined Evil. We shall see, because there's a little bit involved in that. But we are going to be automating the witch's oven today, as well as upgrading it with some fume funnels. Not filtered fume funnels yet, but just standard fume funnels. So we will be working on that a bit. A little bit of infusion today, and a bit of automation, I think, is our goal. So, anyways, let's go ahead and jump on over there. I'll run around this real quick, and you can kind of see, if you didn't watch the speed build, I mean, we kind of went for like a dense, overgrown area. These areas here, they're not dense, and that's because we're going to do statues and stuff here a little bit later on. And yeah, it's a lot of greenery. It is a ton of greenery, and you can see a lot of variety. That's so we get a lot of altar power from that variety. So let's go ahead and jump into the first thing that we're going to be doing today, and that's going to be automating the witch's oven. Okay, and what we're going to do, I went ahead and prepped 3 witch's ovens. Let's go ahead and grab those. And then we're also going to need 12 mortar blocks. And what we're going to be making, well, I've got 3 of those witch's ovens. We're going to be making fume funnels. Now, eventually we're going to have more than one witch's oven. So today, whenever we're automating this, we're going to automate it for the future. But I'm going to do them one at a time, because I want the witch's oven, and then I want the 3 fume funnels. And we'll go over why 3 instead of just 2. It's basically just for a small speed increase. Plus it looks a little bit better, I think. But we're not going to be able to do the filtered fume funnels today, and that's because we need the charge of tombstones, which we're not ready to do as of yet. But for the standard fume funnel, this just requires a witch's oven, exhale of the horned one, breath of the goddess, 4 mortar blocks, 4 buckets of lava, and then 2 dark iron bars for each fume funnel. And then just some essentia that, of course, we've already got a bunch of that stuff. So, let me go ahead and get this stuff together. Which I think most of this, we've got breath of the goddess, horned one, there we go. Now, lava, I don't exactly have that running right now. So I'm actually going to go and just manually grab some. And that's just because I've got to change it over, because originally we had it set up to our pump. Now we're not using our pump as much. I'm not really actively moving it around, so it's actually ran out of lava on me, which is fine. It's not really, I got a king slime somewhere around here, but it's not really a big deal. And the reason we're not really running the pump at the moment is because I've got lava being produced through magma crucibles, I think it was. So there's not a whole lot of point. And I mean, really, now obsidian's coming from the seeds more than anything, so I'm just not running the pumps a lot at the moment. I'll probably have to fly it a little ways because it's a lot of dirt. The nether is a lot of dirt now, is what it is. Okay, I've got all the lava that we needed, our 12 buckets. So I'm going to head back to our Thaumcraft area. I can't wait till we get a teleporter from Draconic Evolution. I just can't wait. It's going to be so handy. I mean, there are other teleportation methods, but none quite as good as the Draconic Evolution version, and not really worth the time investment, I don't feel like, so I just haven't bothered with any of the others as of yet. Okay, so let's get this laid out, and I'm going to run it on the upstairs one as well. We'll do the Witch's Oven there. We'll do our 4 buckets of lava, and I've got more right here. So we'll go 1, 2, and then 3, 4, and then we'll need our 4 mortar blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we need our dark iron bars. So we'll just go right there, and right there, and then our exhale and our breath. Oh, I need 1 more of those. I've only got enough to make 2 at the moment. And then our wand, let's see. There we go. You can see this thing is fully charged now. 1,000 of everything. And we'll go ahead and start that up. So that's running, and then I'm going to get another one set up here. Okay. And then I'm going to need another set of our clay jar sets. Breath of the Goddess, Exhale of the Horned One, and I'm going to go ahead and swap armor just so I can see the stuff running and see where it's at. It is going to take a minute for this stuff to finish up. So while that's running, let's go ahead and get some stuff together that we're going to need for automating the witches' ovens. And I'm going to do this in a little bit different of way. So I'm going to order 2 interfaces, I think. Let's see. We might need the second one. We'll have to wait and see, but we might need it. So 2 of those, and then we're going to need to get ourselves a chest. Let's get just a diamond chest. Or actually, I'll just take one of these crystal chests. It's not going to be visible, so I'm not too worried about the way that it looks. We are going to need to get ourselves some cable, and I'm just going to go with the Fluix cable. And then we are also going to need to get ourselves some conduits. So let's go ahead and grab those. Let's grab, won't need fluids, won't need redstone, any of that. We will need, we might need filters. So I'm going to go ahead and grab like 2 of those so that we've got them. And then we're going to need our witch's oven, which I'm going to use this one right here. And I did set up that other interface, so our clay jars are automated. We can order those now. If I was to order a clay jar, and we give it just a moment, there we go, clay jar. So I'm going to keep one of those. I'm going to throw the rest of them into there. I'm going to keep the coal. Actually, I'll just grab the clay jars. It's fine. And let me go ahead and get like a stack of coal. And I'm going to go ahead and order some more clay jars. Let's see. I think I'm going to keep, in the interface, I'm going to keep like 15 on hand. That's fine. Okay, this first one is done. So there is our very first fume funnel. And I'm going to get another one of those going real quick. So, oh, we got all these empty buckets. And I think that's everything. Yes. Okay. Alright, so I don't need this wand anymore right now. We will do a little bit more infusion later for our tombstone, but it's very simple. Very, very simple infusion. Like, we're talking just a couple items. No biggie. Okay, so we've got that, and we got 2 fume funnels so far. And I think that's everything that we're going to need for automating this that comes to mind at the moment. At least. So let's go ahead and pop over here, and we are going to do some automation. And we'll come back and get that other fume funnel. I'm not too worried about it because that one is just for a small speed increase. Like I said, we'll talk about the mechanics of the fume funnel in just a second. Now over here in the witch's hut, I did lay down a cobblestone floor. This is not permanent. But generally, you know, the first floor that you lay down and then you do automation, that floor gets all ripped up and tore up. And cobblestone works just as well for that purpose. And then we'll change it over later for something a little bit more permanent. So I think our witch's oven, our first witch's oven, we are going to set this up like right here. Okay. And our fume funnels, these attach onto the sides of this. And they kind of make this neat little structure, like they connect, and it's different based on which face that they're on. If you put it on the top, for example, you get that, like a little chimney section. And I was curious to see something, actually. Okay, that doesn't... I was hoping it would at least keep going up, because I was going to make some more of those for decor, but anyways, we're going to set it up like that. Now you'll notice the fume funnel itself doesn't have an inventory or anything. I just heard some shears break down there. It doesn't have an inventory, it just connects the witch's oven. It basically creates like a multi-block structure here. And what these fume funnels do is each fume funnel that you attach onto the sides of this, these two sides, you can't put one in the front. It doesn't do anything if you were to put that right there, or in the back, same way. Only the left and right sides count. And what it does is it increases the speed of it by 10% for the witch's oven for each one of these. So we've got a 20% speed increase over standard vanilla furnace. And then in addition, each one of these gives it an additional 25% chance to get byproducts. So the Breath of the Wild, or not Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda there, Breath of the Goddess, Exhale of the Horned One, extra 25% chance per fume funnel to get those. And then, of course, we have 2 of them, so that's 50. Now, filtered fume funnels, it's 30% instead of the 25%. Speed's the same with the filtered fume funnel, but it is 5% better chance. So eventually we'll upgrade these to filtered. Now, putting a fume funnel on the top, what it does is it doesn't give you that 25% extra chance to get the byproducts, but it does give you the 10% extra increase to speed. So having one on the top, you're going to have 30% bonus speed instead of 20%. Or instead of 0% if you didn't have any fume funnels. So I am going to put one up there, plus I think it looks a little bit better. Okay. So anyways, what we're going to do to lay this out for automation, we have to set up a chest. And I do believe we're going to have the chest down here, I think. See, that's doing the dark shears, which technically I could have this extract only dark shears with a filter, and really I could use this interface. Instead of doing a separate interface, have this interface handle our recipes for the witch's ovens. And I don't see any problem with that, honestly. So yeah, we'll just grab a pair of dark shears, and we're going to throw a filter on this extract. And we're going to say that you can only extract dark shears, always active. Okay, that's all good. So then what we're going to do is, let's go ahead and grab our wrench. And we're just going to wrench the back of this so that it faces over in this direction. And I'm going to pull this. Can I pull this great wood up? Is it going to be... Okay, it's under the staircase. That's actually perfect. That is perfect. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that crystal chest, and I'm just going to put it right there. Okay? And what we're going to do is we're going to have the recipes dump the items into the crystal chest. Now, manual, I'm not going to be manually requesting any of this stuff. Or is that how I want to do it? Okay, I think I decided what I want to do. And by the way, our other fume funnel is done. Because I kind of second-guessed myself whenever I started to set it up. I was like, well, technically. Because the way these byproducts work, you know, they're not 100% chance. The witch's oven itself is only like 30%. And then the fume funnels, at best, with filtered fume funnels, you can get up to like 90%. Currently, we have like an 80% chance to get byproducts. So just adding these 2 fume funnels, that's a 50% boost to what we had. So 80%, I mean, that's not bad. So technically, I mean, there's a couple ways you could do it. You could either have it feed items in to the witch's oven until it reaches a threshold, or you can do it with AE with recipes and just give it room to kind of move around, like room to mess up, basically. Generally, you're going to get a byproduct once you have the fume funnels on there, but there is still that small chance that you're not going to get them. I'm going to do it with the recipes. In the past, I've done it that way, and it's worked perfectly. I've never had any issues with it. I usually do 3 crafts for each byproduct. It's going to produce generally more than what you're requesting, or what it's supposed to be making, but it does work. I've never had an issue with it. So what we're going to do is we're going to tell the ME interface that it needs to keep a stack of coal and a stack of clay jars. It's already got a crafting card in it, so that's great. So keep a stack of coal, a stack of clay jars on hand, And then we're going to add some item conduits here that just kind of come out this side. Remember, there's going to be a wall right here, so I don't mind these conduits. Right now they're sticking out, but they won't be. And we're going to put a filter into this, and we're going to say you can only extract coal and clay jars. And let's see, that's green and brown line. Let's go ahead and we're going to do red. We're going to extract on red. Okay? So we'll pull items out, and I'm just going to do I want to plug it into this conduit line? Or just run a separate one? Okay, I'm actually going to plug it just straight into this conduit line. Okay, and then what we'll do is we're going to have these conduits come up. Let's see, the witch's oven is right there. So we're going to have the conduits come up to about right in this area. And we'll just pull up the wall here. Run our conduit line up like so, and then we'll just connect this up, and we'll do just like that. Okay. Alright, so now that that's ran, let's go ahead and set up a recipe, or let's set up some of our recipes here. Okay, so what have we covered so far? I want to go ahead and get those done first. The foul fume, Breath of the Goddess, Exhale the Horned One. And then we'll do these other three in a minute, but I want to start with those patterns. So, Breath of the Goddess. What we're going to do, we're going to set this to processing pattern. We're going to say, you'll get a Breath of the Goddess if you, it's just birch saplings. Yes, I may have to automate those to some extent. But we're going to say if you send 3 birch saplings, you'll get a Breath of the Goddess. Now, like I said, it's probably going to get more than 1. But we're going to go with that, and that way, you know, I've never seen 3 saplings. Once you get fume funnels on it, I've never seen 3 saplings not produce at least 1 of whatever byproduct you're making. So there's that recipe, and then Exhale of the Horned One. We're going to say that, okay, that's oak saplings. So once again, we're going to say 3 of those, and then encode, and then the foul fume. I think just wood would probably be the best way to go with that. Yeah, just oak wood. So let's grab that, and there we go. And it's really that simple. It's that simple. So, oh no, wait, it's not quite that simple. 3 oak. I did just 1 oak wood. I meant to do 3. And basically what we're going to be doing, we're not actually going to be, chances are, requesting these items to have them crafted. We're just going to have them stay in stock. So our system's just going to run and make those things passively for us. And if it makes a few extra, that's fine. It doesn't really matter. So then we'll just dump our patterns right into there. And that part's done. And then, let's see, we've got that on extract on black and that on extract on red. Okay, so what we're going to do is the back of this witch's oven, and I just realized something. I totally derped. We're not going to be able to put that fume funnel on the top. We'll set up a witch's oven later, kind of for manual decoration type purposes, and we will have that one be all 3 fume funnels, but not these. So we're going to set this to insert on red, okay? And if you look inside of here, you can see coal's coming in, and then here in a second, clay jars are going to come in. Okay, so the witch's oven, the back side there covers the coal and the clay jars. And let's go ahead and pull this fume funnel off. And let's pull that off. And then we're going to have a conduit come up, and I'll hide these. I'll hide these conduits. Maybe with like a little shelf thing or something. And we're going to bring this over, and we're going to say that you insert on black. Okay? You got some dark shears, but that's fine. Okay, so then all we have to do now, let's see, the insert on this is brown, right? Yes, inserts on brown. So then all we have to do is come down here, say extract, and you extract on brown, always active, and that's it. It's automated. It's that simple. Okay, so if we were to order ourselves Exhale of the Horned One, let's order, give me 4 of those. We should see 12 oak saplings come into the furnace. Okay, there we go. And it's going to start smelting. And right now, let's see, we've got 4 XLs of the horned one. We ordered 3. We'll give it a minute to run, and we'll see how many XL of the horned one we come out with. Is it the backside? Is it the backside? It's been a little while. I'm thinking it's the backside that we need to extract out of, because this is not extracting. Let's try that. It's been a little while since I've automated these, so I guess it was oh, what was that pack? I can't remember that pack. Let's see. Yeah, okay, it is the backside. My bad. So just extract out of the back. We don't even have to do anything on the bottom. So even better. Even better. So I'll just put this cobblestone back. And there we go. So then what I can do is I can set another witch's oven set up right here. And then maybe put another one like right here and another one right up here. So we'll have like maybe 4 witch's ovens in here running. And since we're pumping it into a chest and then filtering it out, I am going to set this to round robin enabled. And we'll go ahead and set that to round robin enabled. That's not really going to matter. This one's going to be a bit more useful. So when orders come in and we have multiple witches ovens, it'll get spread out between those witches ovens. Okay. Now technically I could make my coal go a little bit farther and make it so that I only request 8 at a time in the recipes. We could do that. I'm not really particularly worried about it personally because I've only got 500,000 coal. So, or I could do charcoal, you know, because we have charcoal automated. I could expand that and make it a little bit more, but that's fine. I'm not too terribly worried about it, but if you are, order, actually I want to say you could order 10 on a single piece of coal or something like that, since we have the fume funnels attached. But, and I guess on the plus side I already have 1 fume funnel for the next witch's oven, so that's great. Since I derped and made an extra one, we've got a spare. Okay, so I mean that's really it, and I really didn't need like any of this stuff that I made, so that's fine. Mainly just the conduits and the filters and a chest is really all we needed. Okay, so we've got a few other recipes that we could go ahead and automate, and that is Whiff of Magic is rowan saplings. Let's go ahead and get let's get ourselves some rowan saplings, alder saplings, and hawthorn saplings. I'm going to go ahead and get these running through just so we can get some of those to set up the recipes, and then we'll throw the recipes in, and that stuff will be automated too. And I think that's really, I think that's the main thing, those 3, because then I think we have to start getting into, yeah, the distillery. But yeah, it's pretty much distillery, and then that one, this one is from killing a mob, but then this one is from the witch's cauldron. So I'll just throw this into this chest and let it start running. And then it should be done by the time we get done with the next thing that we're going to be doing, and that is making sure that we have these things in stock all the time. I know we've covered stocking before. I believe I actually have a stocking interface over here, which if so, that's what we're going to use. By the way, if you were curious, we're getting fairly close to 5 million. Manesio, 7,247 quadruple compressed, and then these aren't quite as important. I still haven't done the other 2 because I just don't, those things build up so fast. I just haven't felt the need to really go over there and do that yet. Okay, technically we have this interface that's kept for stocking. I'm going to have to set up another one. This is the one that handles our quantum flux stuff and our fluid stuff, keeping that in stock. So let's just go ahead. We'll grab some foul fume. Let's get some exhale of the horned one. And let's get breath of the goddess. And we'll go ahead and tell our system to keep these in stock. And I'm going to say keep a stack. There needs to be like a stack button. I don't think there is. Like, it should be like if you hold shift and right click, it puts in a stack or something. I don't know. Which right now it's not going to be making those because it's cooking our other saplings. But as soon as that stuff gets done, it's going to start working on these. So, alright. So let's go ahead. And I think, honestly, I think a stack of those, if we find the need that we need more, we can do that. You know, I did that in Project Ozone where we had like, where it kept like so much in a storage drawer or something like that. We could do that. But honestly, I don't foresee us needing that much of this stuff. So I think what we have is going to be plenty. I'm going to switch that around. so it doesn't start running birch. I want it to get this other stuff done first, and then it can do the other things. Okay, so that's automated. I still got to add those other 3 recipes, but we got to let it burn down for a little bit. That's fine. Okay, so the next thing that I want to work on, and I don't think the fume funnel is in here as a quest. It's not. That's fine. The next thing I want to do is work on a tombstone. This takes Whiff of Magic, which we are going to be making in there. Let me go ahead and make sure Rowan is the next thing it smelts instead of Hawthorn, because I am going to need those whiffs of magic. Like, I'm going to go ahead and pull the alder saplings out. I'm pretty sure, which one is alder? Alder is Reek of Misfortune. We have 22 Reeks of Misfortune. Okay, so we're good on that. And I'm actually going to keep these on hand and just match them up. Okay, so I want to make a tombstones. And these are fairly cheap to make. If you take a look here, Whiff of Magic, Lava Bucket, Superbia, Percantio, and Dragonstone makes you an attunestone. And today we're going to want one for our our candelabra, and then we're also going to want one for our chalice. Also Gula. I don't think I have Gula automated. That's fine. Gula. I'm gonna have to figure out something for that as well. Let me pop down to the nether real quick, because I am going to need to get some lava buckets. I'm going to get a few extra because I keep having to go down there and get those. I'll be back in just a moment. Alright, I got the lava that we need, and I'm actually going to go ahead and pull these up really, really quick, because we're going to be needing this. Okay, so now what I want to do is let me get some Dragonstone. And I'm just going to order 2 for right now. We're really only going to be making 2 attunestones because we only need 1 candelabra, 1 chalice. That's it. There we go. 2 of those. And then we are going to want to get those, what was it, Whiff of Magic. Let's go ahead and grab that. And I'm just going to throw these buckets into there and that. Okay. So let's double check the recipe here. The attunestone is Lava Bucket, Whiff of Magic, and Superbia we've got. Okay. So let's go ahead and just lay these out and just whip these things up real quick. So Dragonstone, Lava Bucket, Whiff of Magic. And I guess technically I should probably automate these, right? So let's actually automate the attunestones, because we're going to be making a bunch of these later. Might as well go ahead and automate them. Let me grab an empty bucket here. And this should be just about done already. Like, it's like so fast. It's so fast. Okay, so there's our very first attunestone, and that actually completes a quest here. They're going to give us... This is really interesting, because it's like, it's just throwing wand caps at us. Like, there's 2 inert elementium caps. And then we've got alchemical caps, we've got mana steel caps, terra steel caps. I think that's the main ones. Yeah, and then we got, yeah. But anyways, now that we've got our attunestone, let's go ahead and set up a recipe here. Actually, let me do the recipe first. And speaking of, let me order some more blank patterns, because we're going to need those. Give me like 20 more of those. So what we're going to do is we're going to say you'll get an attunestone if you send lava bucket. Now we'll sort out the lava situation between episodes. It just kind of came to my attention because my lava ran out. But I'll just set up like a magma crucible or something type setup like what we've got elsewhere. Whiff of Magic and a Dragonstone. That's all it takes. That's all it takes to make this. So we'll just encode, and there we go. There's our attunestone. And then what we'll do is we'll just pop it into our interface right here. Where did the pattern... Oh, there it is. Okay. We'll put that into there, and then, let's see, down here, we're going to say, in the storage bus, you can store... what goes in the center? Is it the dragon? Yes, the Dragonstone. Okay, Dragonstone goes right there. And then, and let's see, the storage bus, we're going to say, you can't store Dragonstone or a Tombstone. on these. Because I want to make sure they don't go into our pedestals. Okay, that is set, and then the import bus, we're going to say that you can import a tombstone, and then right over here on this interface, we are going to say a tombstone. Okay, I don't remember why I had eye vendor in here. I think it was an accident. I pulled that out. So, okay, so that's it. That's all there is to it. And now if we were to order ourselves, let me throw in lava bucket, whiff of magic, dragonstone, and if we were to order ourselves and tombstone, there we go, it's crafting. It's that simple. And oh, this is going to take a second. It's getting the Superbia. I mean, it's so fast. It really is so fast to craft this tombstones. And there's our tombstone. Oh, and I almost forgot about this. This right here. So the buckets, what I'm going to do is... Oh, let's see. How do we want to handle this? Honestly, what I'm probably going to do is blacklist. I don't think there's... I'm going to look and see, is there any other infusion that we're going to need a lot of lava buckets? We've got Everburn Iron. If I make those, it'll probably be in the manual one downstairs. Leggings the Burning Health, same way. Fume Funnel, same way. A Tombstone, and then Cobaldite Pickaxe. And that's it. And I don't think... Yeah, there's no craft. Okay. So what I'm going to do, in fact, is I'm going to just put a... I'm going to go ahead and blacklist in all these storage buses. I'm going to blacklist lava buckets in all of them except for one. Okay? And that way we can kind of solve this problem, because we don't want buckets kind of filling up our, jumbling up inside of our system and messing everything up. And lava buckets are a pain. They were the same way whenever we were doing blood magic, if you recall. We couldn't automate the fire things for a little while. Okay, so only this pedestal here does not have lava buckets blacklisted. And then what we're going to do is, I'm probably just going to use conduits, maybe? Or import bus. Yeah, we'll just do an import bus. So we'll just order import bus, and then we're going to get Fluix cable. And what we'll do is we'll just stick that right there. And then, oh, actually, this is, let's take a piece of smart cable right there. Just to see. I think it's actually got, yeah, it's got one connection left. Never mind. Scratch that. We can just connect it straight into this. Let me grab. Okay. So then we'll just plug this Fluix over like that. And right here we're going to say you can import empty buckets. That's simple. So then if I was to order another tombstone, which I'm going to do that real quick, just so we can check it out. I think we've got, well, it can make dragonstone, so make me one more tombstone. Okay, so it's going to order the dragonstone, and there we go, it's crafting, and here shortly that should get done. And let me go ahead and grab this other tombstone, so we've got that. Okay, and Superbia is done. There goes the whiff of magic. There goes the lava bucket, and then that'll be done. And, oh, you know what else I forgot to do? Right in here, I'm going to set bucket right there. I forgot to do that part. Okay, so that way it knows to send the bucket to this interface. Okay, so I'm going to order it one more time, just to make sure. I don't mind making extras of these. There's so many little, like, tidbits to, like, not forget when it comes to setting this stuff up. Alright, so it's running now. And you'll notice, I mean, the bucket went to the exact same spot as it did last time. That is the only possible place that lava buckets can go. So there goes our whiff of magic, and there goes our lava bucket. And there's our tombstone. And you'll notice our bucket went away, and our tombstone went away. Okay? So as easy as that. Which actually, let me try one. Let me order one more. I almost think we don't actually need the import bus. Since that's a storage bus, the interface should be able to interface with it. Since I have the empty bucket set there, it should send it to that interface by default. So I actually don't even think we need that. Let me order one more. My bad. But I don't believe we need the import bus. And I guess really the bucket could go anywhere. I overcomplicated. All we had to do was stick the empty bucket in the interface and it was done. So that's okay. That's alright. Alright, so there goes the whiff of magic. There goes the bucket. And there we go. It's done, and you'll notice the bucket got pulled out. Okay, so Scratch, you can have it in as many as you want. I'm going to leave it there just because I've already said it. I might pull it out next time I put a recipe in. Throw the empty bucket into there. It's done. Okay, so we've got 3 extra tombstones. Well, that's fine. We'll need them later, so it's not a problem. Okay, so now that that's done, and I need to grab that. That was from the first tombstone that we made. Let's take a look here. We've got these whiffs of magic and reek of misfortune. Whiff of magic was the rowan sapling, right? I believe it was. And dump that stuff into there. Yeah, and then hawthorn is odor of purity. So let me get hawthorn and an odor. We don't have any odors of purity. It has to be cooking something else up. Okay. You know what it is? It's cooking oak wood right now. And not the hawthorn saplings. Alright, so let's go ahead and make, let's see, I've got patterns. And let's go ahead and do, if you take alder saplings and you take 3 of those, then you're going to get a reek of misfortune encode. Then if you take rowan saplings, 3 of those, you're going to get a whiff of magic and encode. And then if you take 3 hawthorn saplings, then you're going to get purity. You'll get one of these. Odor of purity. And we'll encode that. Okay, so there's our last 3. Those recipes, and then I just have to open this up, and we're going to do horned one. There's our crystal chest, and we'll just drop these right into there. And then I just have to jump over there and do another interface storage bus. I'll do that off camera after the episode. That's no biggie. And that way we just keep like a stack of those things on hand. Okay? So anyways, we've got our tombstone. Now we need to turn our attention towards the candelabra and the chalice. And I guess we're going to start with the candelabra first. This requires 3 yellow tallow candles and then a mortem block. And what are those chunks? There we go. There's our mortem block, and then we just need the tallow candles. So, yellow tallow candle is white tallow candle. There we go. And then a little bit of dandelion yellow. 3 of those. And I think that's pretty much everything. We've got all this stuff. Yeah, that's it. Alright, so we'll get this running, and then I've got to sort out the gula for the chalice. So there's that. There is 1, 2, 3, and then activate. Okay, so that's crafting our candelabra. The chalice is actually even easier. Just requires gold blocks and a warded jar, which we should have that stuff lying around here. Warded jar, and then the gold blocks. And let me dump some of this junk that's like building up here. And okay, that's pretty much it. Tombstone, and then we need the gula. I'll tell you what, I've got some gluttony shards. I'm just going to use this. Let me scan it real quick. And that gives 2 gula per, and I think we only needed for this 32 gula. Alright. I need to get a pick enchanted with that Thaumcraft enchant from Forbidden Magic, the one that gives shards. Anytime you mine shards, like normal shards, you get the Thaumcraft shards instead. I need to get that because then we could have all the shards that we mine up. Instead of having them just broken down for fortune, we can have them instead mined up with that pick. So we have a chance to get the nether shards. So I'll get around to that before too long, but looks like our candelabra is done. Let's go ahead and grab this thing, and we'll go ahead and lay out the next infusion, but I am going to have to get that gula first. So gold blocks, like that, and then the warded jar right there. And the candelabra quest, we get 2 terra steel caps. The chalice, yeah, we've got all the rest of the stuff. It's really just the gula that I need, just 32 of it. Okay, there is our 32 gula, which I will have to automate that at some point because we're going to eventually need that stuff. But for right now, we'll just put that right there, and we'll activate this. Okay, so our chalice is being created. Let's go ahead and take our candelabra over, and we'll see how much of a difference this makes. Now, I think we'll have to remove the torch for this to work, but that's fine. So, because I think torch and candelabra fall into the same category, which is light. Because each altar item has like a category. For example, I couldn't put like a skeleton skull and a player head on the altar at the same time. You know, it's not going to do anything, but it's just going to take the strongest one into account. So right now we're at 12,780 with a times 5. We pull this up, throw down the candelabra, and 12,780 with a times 6. Okay, so it's a extra little modifier there. So we're going to get an additional 10 altar power every time it regens. So, which actually this, I'm probably going to put it back on the back end. Like that, I think. Okay, and our chalice is done now. So let's go ahead and grab that. Oops, there we go. And that completes this quest. We get 2 alchemical caps. And I'm just going to throw those into the system. And let's pop over here, and we're going to throw this on our altar and see where we're up to then. So we're really getting our... I mean, I still have to fill the chalice, and we need to get a pinnacle. And I think that's the main things for right now. Until we get the infinity egg. So the chalice, I'm actually going to put the chalice setting right here in the center. So you'll notice that bumps us up to 15,975 altar power. Okay, and then our infinity egg, we'll put it back here, and I don't know, actually I might, you know what, the player head will not sit next to the candelabra. Aha. That's fine. That's okay. We'll put the infinity egg back there. Maybe. It may not sit next to the candelabra either. I don't know why that is, though. Well, anyways, we have a lot more altar power. And then the infinity egg's still a ways away. The pinnacle and the filled chalice are like the next 2 upgrades that we've got coming up before too long. Okay, so now that that's done, the next thing I would like to do is make some Mutandis Extremis, just so we can go ahead and upgrade our int twig. We can't really use it right now to make wormwood because we need wispy cotton, right? Is it wormwood? Yeah, see, we're going to need wispy cotton before we can make wormwood. So, which we're going to have to get into the dream world before we can do that. But I would like to go ahead and make it, though. Just so we can get it upgraded and get that quest knocked out. So let's go ahead and grab this stuff. Let me get... I'm just going to order... give me 2 buckets of water. Thank you, thank you. And right now I'm going to use the reservoir on our manual one. Eventually we're not going to have the reservoir attached just for looks once we automate the witch's cauldron, but we don't really have time in this episode to do that, so I do not believe. But let's go ahead and just set this up, and I think our manual cauldron, we're going to have it setting like right back, right over here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down by 1. We'll put the netherrack right there, and then flint and steel. And then we'll use that as a... so that we can place it. There we go. And I'm probably going to do some different blocks around it. But we'll see. We shall see. And then I'm just going to put the reservoir for right now. It's going to sit right there. And we'll go ahead and wrench that. And this is within range of our altar. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our 2 buckets of water. And, whoops. Meant to put it in the reservoir, not in the cauldron. Dump that into there. Okay, the cauldron's filling up. And then what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to make ourselves some Mutandis Extremis. And this is not in the quest book. It's fine. I believe it's just Mutandis and Netherwort. Yes. Okay. So let's get ourselves some of that Mutandis that we made before. And then a piece of Netherwort. And I think I actually need one for the Int Twig too. For the Mutating Sprig, I think. I could be wrong though. But anyways, we'll just dump those in there and it's going to start swirling. Now if it's not swirling, that means either you do not have enough altar power or it's too far from your altar. Because this, making Mutandis Extremis does require altar power for it to work. And we got a Paralyzed 3. So you'll notice we can't run right now. Sometimes you get negative effects whenever it crafts. That's just part of it. Okay, so to make our Mutating Sprig, yeah, it's just Netherwort, Mutandis Extremis, and the Int Twig. So we'll just dump this stuff into there. It's boiling. That. There we go. It's swirling. And here in a second, we should get our Mutating Sprig. And there we go. So let's go ahead and turn this in, and we get a miniature yellow heart. Okay. And that's going to be used for whenever we start getting into like snaring creatures and stuff like that. We're going to be using that Mutating Sprig quite a bit. Quite a bit indeed. Probably one thing that we're going to have to automate, I do believe. Actually, I know we do. It's these critter snare bats, I think it is. Concentrated draconic core. That's what it is. So we're slowly getting closer and closer to draconic evolution. Bit by bit. Cobaldite. Lamb crystal. Okay. Yeah, we're going to have to automate Cobaldite. Maybe next episode, I think. It's definitely something that we're going to have to do. Okay, it's been a little bit since I last cut. I've actually got something crafting up right here. I figured I'd go ahead and start it because it's taken a while to craft this thing. If we take a look over here, which is which, I am crafting the distillery at the moment. So if we take a look at that, it is 3 clay jars, 2 attune stones, 2 mortar blocks, dark iron bars, witch's oven. Okay, and then it takes a ton of this essential. 256 spiritus and ignis, then 128 of these 3. These essential costs in this pack are just crazy. Absolutely insane. I love it. I love it quite a bit. Okay, so it's pulling in the items right now, and I figured we'd go ahead and get the distillery crafted this episode. Go ahead and start using it. Honestly, once we get that crafted, it looks like we're going to knock out like 3 quests, like right there. Just bam, bam, bam. Which is good. Let's go ahead. There we go. Distillery. All right. Yeah. Odor of Purity is actually done. It's just we haven't, I guess, held one. So, there we go. All right. So, we've got 4 quests here. First up, we get 2 Mobius ingots. And then we get 40 white smart cable, 40 light blue smart cable, 40 light gray smart cable. Okay, let's go ahead and throw that stuff into there. And let's pop over to the Witchery area because the distillery requires altar power in order to run. Like if I was to set this down just, wherever, it's not going to work unless it has access to our altar power. It uses up a little bit. Not a whole lot, but... anyways, we're going to go ahead and set this up. I guess we'll set it up right over here, at least for now. So there is our distillery. And what we're going to need to do is let's get ourselves some clay jars. Okay, I had to wait a second. Sometimes it like loses the storage unit or something. I don't know. Let's go ahead and order ourselves, say, 30 clay jars. Okay, and we will be... Oh, they're going somewhere right now. Okay, they have stopped going. I think what it was the automation setup was probably, well, there they go again. Alright, now stop that. Okay, there we go. We got 29. I think the witch's oven was like tapped out because it was waiting for them, or for the system. I guess the system, it sometimes locks up like that. I don't know. It has to do with the storage unit and I think the size of it and how much stuff we have plugged up to the AE system. Just one of those issues that we've got. Okay, so anyways, the first thing they want us to make is Tears of the Goddess. Now, we will be automating this in the near future, but right now I just want to go ahead and make some of this. So, Breath of the Goddess with Lapis Lazuli and 3 clay jars. It's going to get us Tear of the Goddess, Whiff of Magic, Foul Fume, and Slime Ball. Alright. So, Breath of the Goddess. And these are 100% crafts. So, unlike the Witch's Oven making the clay jar stuff, this is 100%. So, if we throw in Breath of the Goddess and Lapis, there we go. That's going to start running. And if we pop over here, we should see the altar. Yeah, see, it's setting at 74. It's not, because basically the distillery is using a little bit of altar power. It's very, very minor. Honestly, with an altar with this much power, we're not going to notice much of a change unless we, like, do a ritual or something like that. Because, I mean, we just don't have a whole lot of draw on the altar. So having, you know, distilleries automated and stuff like that, it's not going to be a problem for us with, you know, with that altar power. We can have multiple distilleries running. It's not going to cause any altar issues. Okay, so there's our Tear of the Goddess, Whiff of Magic, Slime Ball, and Foul Fume. We can go ahead and, oh, they want us to make 6 of these. My bad. Okay, so we'll go ahead and get that thing running. It's going to take a minute. It is going to take a minute. And then after that, they want Oil of Vitriol. Okay, that's Foul Fume and Quicklime. Gypsum, Slime Ball, Oil of Vitriol. Okay, only 1 clay jar, though. Let me go ahead and order some more clay jars, because making the tiers actually requires quite a bit of them. Because I think the next thing that I want to go for, as far as, I will say next episode we're going to be doing a little bit of automation. But I would like to start working towards the redstone soup. Now, Tongue of Dog, I don't know if we have any in the system. It's not something... Yeah, we've got 3. And honestly, well, we are going to need a bit of redstone soup. We will need to get a hellhound. Basically, it's those dogs you find in the nether. We need to get some of those so that we can run it through our mob system. But Tongue of Dog isn't something, unless we use a lot of redstone soup. The only other real use for it is... the charm. I can't recall what it's called, but the charm that lets you talk to animals and stuff. But, I mean, aside from that, Belladonna we've got, Mandrake Root we got, the Wool of Bat. I will want to get bats in the mob spawner, just because we will need Wools of Bat for, well, there's the Vampiric Poppet, but Redstone Soup. It's kind of like Tongue of Dog, I think. And then Redstone, and then we need Drop of Luck, which takes that Refined Evil... Tear of the Goddess, we've got that now. Refined Evil, though, is Diamond Vapor with Gas Tear. And to get Diamond Vapor, we're going to have to get Oil of Vitriol and run it with Diamond. So that's kind of what we're working up towards. I'm just kind of doing the quests as we go, though. And by the way, the kettle and the spinning wheel, I was looking at those earlier. And they are a bit more expensive in this pack as well. Like, spinning wheel is Alchemical Centrifuge, Attuned Stones, Item Frames, Sticks, Luxuria, and the rest of this is all pretty straightforward, but it does require 128 Luxuria. And then also the kettle. This thing takes a Witch's Cauldron, Mana Infused String, Attuned Stones, and then this stuff. I mean, that's not really that bad. They just take a while to craft. So, but at least the costs aren't that great on them. Okay, there is our 6 Tears of the Goddess. This is so slow. It's so slow. We'll have to get this automated like pretty quick, because it's going to be dreadful. And we get 40 ME blue smart cable. Okay, so then Oil of Vitriol. That's the next thing they want us to make. And Oil of Vitriol is just Foul Fume with Quicklime. Okay, so let's go ahead and you're starting to see why I wanted to go ahead and automate the Witch's Oven, because we're going to need a lot of this stuff. I think they want us to make, was it 6 of them? I think, yeah. Okay, so Foul Fume, and then we're going to need Quicklime. Go ahead and grab 6 of that. And we'll get that running. Okay. Alright, so now that that's running, since our Oil of Vitriol is running, which means then we can get our Diamond Vapor, and then our Refined Evil, then our Drop of Luck, and then our Redstone Soup. So much. So much. So now that that's running, we're going to pop over to the library real quick, because we've actually knocked out a few quests over the course of this episode and the last couple episodes, you know. So I want to go ahead and mark off what we've done so far in Witchery. And then what I'm probably going to do is I'm actually probably going to end out this episode. I know it's going to be a few minutes early, but the thing is I need to let this stuff build up. I'm going to craft this stuff off camera, the oil of vitriol, the diamond vapor, into the refined evil, into the drop of luck. So we'll have that because it takes a little while for that to run, and it's pretty straightforward. It's just going into any eye. So craft a witchery altar and surround it with a bunch of plants. Variety helps. And that's a misprint there. Further upgrade the power of your witchery altar by putting a player head, a chalice, a candelabra, a dragon egg, and an arthana on top of it. We've done that. Make a distillery and a kettle. Okay, we haven't. Actually, that might be all that we have. Yeah. Okay, so the distillery, the kettle we haven't made yet. I'll probably get the stuff together. I might go ahead and make the kettle and the spinning wheel between episodes as well. Simply because the recipes for these, super straightforward. They just take so long to craft. I mean, they take like a good 6-7 minutes or so, I don't know, something like that to let it run. Alchemical centrifuge, I mean, that's all straightforward, super straightforward for us at this point. So between episodes, I'm probably going to go ahead and craft the spinning wheel, the kettle, and go ahead and craft this stuff up to the drop of luck. Yeah, I'll get the refined evil crafted. I'm not going to make the drop of luck yet because we'll probably do that on camera. That only takes a second, but I will get crafted up to the refined evil. So knock out this little section here and then these over here. Then next episode we are going to be we're kind of at a point where I would like to get the witch's cauldron automated, the distillery automated, the kettle, koboldite. I'm not sure which ones we're going to tackle next episode. Probably, I will say we're probably going to be doing koboldite for sure. And then, which we started, if you recall, a long time ago, we started to set up koboldite, but then it just backfired on me because the kobolds just dug away, broke their leashes, and just took off. So we're going to do something a little bit different, which is fine. It'll be more of like an automated setup than just having kobolds for fun kind of a thing. So we will be working on koboldite and then probably the distillery, I think, just because the distillery is so slow. It takes forever to craft anything. But we'll see. Plans could change, but that's the intended plan for next episode. So, anyways, I know it's a few minutes early, but we don't really have time to jump into the rest of the stuff. Plus, I do need to build out a lower section. If you recall, I said we're going to have like a little kind of tucked away area over here for our witchery automation, like the witch's cauldron. I mean, the witch's ovens are going to be up here, but for the stuff that requires altar power, I don't want cables in this area. And some of this stuff like this would be kind of a pain to hide. Well, I guess technically we could have a conduit plug into it, but I don't really like a cauldron up against a wall, and it's hard to kind of come in from the bottom with these. So we're going to have a little area kind of tucked away that we can just automate and not worry about the cableage and stuff like that. So I am going to get that built between episodes and give us access to that, and then we'll work on a bit more automation and stuff next episode. Okay? So that's the current plan. So, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you did, as always, be sure and hit that like button. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already to stay up to date with when new videos come out, and I hope to see you guys next time. So until next time, as always, do take care, stay safe, and I'll see you guys then.